September 1950, the Korean conflict had escalated into a bloody war as Chinese communist troops invaded North Korea to stop the U.S. from liberating it from communist rule. For 18-year-old GI Ed Reeves, it was the beginning of a miraculous story of courage, faith, and deliverance.
When I was a teenager, I was already a believer, but keeping one foot in the world, doing my own thing, and a dropout from school, and so I enlisted at 17.
Ed volunteered for duty in Korea, and in October 1950 found himself marching to the Chosin Reservoir in North Korea, site of one of the most savage battles in modern warfare.
When we got up into the mountains, it got cold. Now, when it gets to 25, 35 below zero weather, you can't stop on the road. Your clothes are sweaty. You don't dare stop or you freeze in place. We had to just keep moving. And we're ordered to dig in on a ridge that night so that we could move out in the morning. And that night, the Chinese came in force. He had 8,000 to 10,000 people. We had something like 1,800 total. And their orders in the whole campaign at the Chosin were to wipe us out to a man. Their general said, like, you would kill a snake in your house, kill them. Nobody in our perimeter was further away from the enemy than an arm reach, much hand-to-hand fighting, and that's how it was all night long. But when morning came, I was feeling pretty proud of myself. All I had was scratches, and I was looking around and relaxing, and they shot me with an anti-tank gun, and I flew. And I wasn't as proud when I landed. We were holding out at the farmhouse, and when I was wounded, then a major and a sergeant dragged me through the shell fire and put me in a room of that house. I could look out of 2 doorways and watch the fighting outside. When I was awake, I'd take out my New Testament, and I was reading the promises in there for a believer, that the Lord would always be with us. He'd never forsake us.
But waves of Chinese communist troops continued to attack, and Ed felt little peace. Completely outnumbered, Ed's unit was ordered to load up their wounded and abandon the perimeter.
We had no medical supplies, no food, nothing but a lot of enemy. So I was put in a sleeping bag and put in the back of an army truck. We made about 4 miles, and then we ran out of everything. There was nobody to drive the trucks. They'd been killed. Trucks were out of fuel or so shot up they wouldn't run. We were out of ammo, so the enemy overran us. They took the men who were on stretchers. They could use the stretchers for their wounded and dumped them down on top of us. I'd always said I would never be a prisoner. They'd have to kill me first. But now I had no choices. I couldn't go anywhere, no strength of my own left. I took out my Testament, and the Psalms were in the back. Everybody was quiet. I don't know what they were thinking. And now my thinking was really starting to get changed. Well, the driver of our truck was so wounded he hadn't been able to leave. He said, the Chi-Coms are burning the trucks. He says, well, where are they taking the wounded? He says, they're not. If they climb out of the fire, they shoot them. And I knew I couldn't go anywhere. I was going to have to burn alive. And I started talking to God like I should have been doing all along. And I just simply said, God, I don't have a right to ask you anything. You remember when I was a boy and I asked forgiveness of sin? In Christ to enter my life. But you know I don't live for you. I do what I want to do. Take this fear from me and just let me die like a man. And I'll see you very soon. Amen. And he took, I'll see you very soon. Amen. And he took it away. I just couldn't believe it. It was just a complete 180-degree turn. And while I was thinking that way, the driver called and said, it's our turn. Here they come. And we listened while they tried to get gas out of our truck, but it was so shot up, there was no fuel left. It had drained out in the road. One started walking around the truck, executing the wounded, and then he continued shooting, 1 shot in each head coming up the row. Watching these men die, thinking, and I was allowed to serve with these men. That I was proud that I had been serving with them. The man next to me went into eternity. The rifle barrel came over and said, Jesus, here I come. I could look up the rifle barrel, see the trigger squeeze, and the muzzle blast knocked me flat. I opened my eyes and thought, you don't miss it 3 feet. You can't be alive. So I felt my forehead and my head to see where the hole was. And I didn't have a hole between the eyes or the forehead like the others. I had a scalp wound. And I talked to the Lord and said, why am I alive when everybody else is dead? I couldn't even get out of the bag. If God wanted me out of there, I told him he would have to get me off the truck. I couldn't do it.
Bloody, half-frozen, and crippled, Ed had no escape. He lay helplessly in the truck for 2 frigid nights until once again the enemy returned.
They were taking bodies and searching them and putting them in piles in the road. As they worked toward me, I thought, all right, hold yourself stiff like you're another frozen body again. They could feel I was alive by the give to my body and the warmth to it, and I was the enemy. So they worked me over good. They threw me off the back of the truck. My prayer was answered. I was off the truck. And finally, 2 of them held me up by the hair and my clothing and leaned me against the tailgate of the truck and worked me over some more. Drugged me to the pile of dead and threw me on top of it. I was miserable as I could get. They picked up their rifles and started pounding me with rifle butts. And one took a handful of hair to lift my head to look in the face and see if I was dead. And I thought, don't breathe, just stare down the road. And he threw the head down, wiped his hand off from the back of my jacket, and headed up the road going north. So I climbed off the pile, dead, half rolled, and slid down. I could look out at the ice of the reservoir I had to cross to get over to the marine side. And I said, God, I just out loud, the enemy could see me, so why be quiet? God, I can't walk. How can I get out of here?
To avoid freezing to death in the snow, Ed struggled desperately for hours to keep moving, forcing himself to crawl on toward the reservoir.
Till finally I felt something hard under me. And I took an elbow and cleared it, and it was ice. And I looked around, and I was on the ice of the reservoir. And I said, Lord, thank you for getting me to the ice.
Ed's unwavering spirit and faith that God would deliver him finally paid off.
I lifted up an elbow, and I could see these dots on the ice get bigger and bigger till I could see they were men on jeeps. Then when they got closer, men got off. Lieutenant Colonel Olin Beale and his driver, Ralph Milton.
Beale and Milton had dodged gunfire and endured the cold and fatigue for 3 days. They rescued over 200 wounded soldiers from the frozen reservoir. Ed was rushed behind the Marine front. He was flown to an Army hospital in Japan, and suffering from severe frostbite and gangrene, his infection-ridden body was near death. He was transferred to a hospital in the United States. A U.S. Army doctor phoned Ed's mother to explain his condition.
He told her, Mrs. Reeves, don't come to the hospital and see your son. We believe he's dying right now. If he does live, he'll be bedbound the rest of his life. If he does live, he'll be addicted because we're giving him so much drugs to stop the pain. I found out later my mother and my grandmother were in daily prayer for me all the time. And it wasn't long until many people were praying for me. I could hear my heart beating, and I waited all night long. It didn't quit, so I said, all right, God's got a plan going. He still wants something going here. I didn't know what, but when they started cutting the gangrene away, the feet were amputated, and the fingers were going, and started grafting and operations to put me back together again. They decided this guy looks like he might live a while.
50 years after the Chosin Reservoir, Ed Reeves knows why God spared him.
Please let me be in 14 other countries and share that when everything else goes wrong, God's there waiting to hear. The Lord has promised in His Word, if we'll go tell one person about Christ, our feet are beautiful. He's promised He don't care if they're wood, rubber, or flesh and blood. So I tell people about beautiful feet and real peace. And that real peace, no matter what's happening, is with Jesus Christ.